Dear friends, hello. I'm so happy to see you in Hidden Hero program. And this is a beautiful, wonderful, magical lady. Her name is Fauza Beltz. I think that the secret of Fauza, that she loves people and she loves her continent, Africa, and she loves her country, Kenya. And I'm happy to welcome Fauza.
Thank you, Olga. Thank you for having me in Hidden Hero.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Fauza, tell me please, your life was very complicated and you became a big queen, a big hero, really, a big hero. So tell me please, it so happened that when you were a baby, you were small, you were brought up by a grandmother, not by mama and papa.
That's
Why it
right.
so happened?
Yeah, because my parents, they were not married. And so what I was told was there was no relationship. So I was just conceived. And they didn't get married, apparently, for whatever reasons. Nobody has ever told me. And so when I was 3 years old, my mom gave me to his own mother so that she can raise me. And then she moved on with her own life at that time. And then I think at the age of about 7, 8, my dad now instructed his own mother to come and get me from my maternal grandmother to my paternal family now.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
So you can imagine that in Africa, being raised by grandmother, not by mom and by dad, is, I think, very unique.
Yeah,
and people don't like it. Fauza, tell me please, so how the kids around you in school, how they treated you?
Well, the thing is, nobody knew. Nobody knew actually at that. Nobody knew anything really. And I think for me it was more emotional, should I say emotional abuse or emotional trauma, because if you keep on telling me that you are here by mistake, you know, you've ruined this, you've ruined that, I feel sorry that such an innocent past life has created a lot of problems in the family. So as I was growing up, and when I was in the teenage moments, you know, you're trying to find your own place in the society and in the community. And you don't know, you lose your own identity.
No,
and
it goes without saying.
Yes,
of course.
So for me, that was a big struggle. And the fact that, you know, with our culture, you know, you can't ask an adult about certain things. Because
so in Kenya, it's not allowed to ask adults?
Generally, normally, yes. Things are changing now, let me put it that way. But when I was growing up, you can't ask. You can't. Like, I couldn't ask because, you know, you are a child. What do you know?
But who told you this, like all this story? It's your grandmother. She put to you that it's by accident. Who she told you?
Yeah.
But in a way, still, she was not bad person because she was taking care of you.
No, you know what? I always say that I am so thankful that I had people to raise me because mom was not there. My dad supported me, but he lived in a different city. Yeah, so he made sure there was food with grandmother and all those things. But I was very angry with mom, because I used to feel that she should have just kept me instead of releasing me, instead of letting me go. You know, even if she has to do things for her own, I always felt like she should have just kept me. Even if we didn't have food, we could all go to bed without food. If there was nothing, we could have. But then from the other side, you know, there were moments where I was told, you know, you've ruined dad's bachelorhood because of the pregnancy between them and between dad and mom and all those things. But I used to ask myself that, but that's not my responsibility.
Of course, Fauza was a baby, a child.
You know?
She's not responsible how she's coming.
For what adults do.
For how she's coming to this world.
So I had a lot of questions, Olga, but until now, some of the questions I still don't have answers. But it's okay now, because I know that I'm here for a reason. And the beginning, there is always a beginning in everything, yeah? And now the question that I've always asked myself is, yes, this has happened. You know, I grew up in different homes. There was no love at all. But I thank God that I had a place, that I had people who raised me. So I'm very grateful for that.
Fauza, tell me please, Fauza wrote recently a book, it's called Raising from the Dust. And she's teaching girls in Africa, thousands of girls in Kenya. She's going to schools and teaching them. So tell me please, how that life changed, why you become so beautiful, so strong, so sure of yourself. And you're like completely different Fauza, strong, beautiful, and sure of yourself.
You know, I think life has this thing where sometimes it pushes you in the edge so that you can find yourself. Yeah? And my relationship with my parents, it hasn't been really easy, you know, because I was...
Have you ever seen your mom?
Yeah. I know mom, but growing up I was not allowed to go visit her from my paternal family, so I wasn't allowed. And the first time I did it, Olga, I was really beaten because, you know, I didn't listen. So that's what I was told.
You were beaten by grandmother or by mother?
By my uncle.
Ah, by your uncle.
Yeah. And so this book is... it's a collection of memories. You know, why did things happen the way they happened? Why am I here for? So it's in the searching for my purpose that I started writing. And
how it's happened? You told me that in school you were struggling, you were not the best student.
No, so there are so many issues because it's like what we were saying before we started the show, you know, it always starts from home. So for me, I had a lot of questions. Why am I here? Is it really true that I'm here by mistake? And what is really God saying about my creation? So I had a lot of questions, and academically, zero. I was really struggling. And it brought a lot of insecurities. A lot of anger, a lot of hate. You know, sometimes we humans, we hate ourselves. So at certain moment, I had really bad anxiety attacks and depression.
It was in Africa when you were studying in school, yeah?
But I didn't even know that I was sick, you know, and I didn't even understand what I was feeling. But I always felt inadequate. You know, I have a lot of questions and I don't have answers.
You were maybe thinking, why are the kids, they have families, they have parents, and why I don't have...
I was always comparing. I was always comparing myself with other people, with my friend, and because we are human, the grass is always green on the other side. And so I thought to myself now, with my relationship with my husband also.
Because Fauza is married to a great person, Dov, and thanks God it's a happy marriage, and she has a very beautiful, amazing, unbelievable son.
Yeah, so my relationship with Dov, it brought a lot of shame to the family. I became an outcast. And for me, I have gone through so much pain, but for me, the rejection that I got because of the relationship with my husband really put me in a bad depression. And so why did I write the book? Now, let me answer you that question. It's because I was trying to reconcile with myself the reasons of my birth that caused a lot of shame in the family. And then as an adult now myself, I'm bringing in shame again by marrying a foreigner, a white man, okay? And it was not expected. And then later on, I was told, because I was born out of wedlock, I was supposed to marry a man from the same belief, from the same culture, from the same ethnicity and everything, so that I can sanctify myself. And I had a lot of questions, Olga. So this whole process, I was trying to connect the dots for myself, and it became a book. So Rising from the Dust it's a personal story. It's a personal journey where I share about the upbringing, you know, the emotional abuse, the physical abuse. And
what was the biggest emotional and physical abuse? When your uncle beat you, when you saw your mom?
Oh, I got beaten almost all the time, Olga, to be honest. But this is something that a lot of parents do. And the reason why I choose to talk about these things, it's because we always look at this little kids that they don't have power over us because we are adults. Yeah? So if I get less grades in school and you punish me by beating me up, instead of you sitting down with me and asking what is going on. Because most of the time, the reason why things happen, there is always something. So the way as adults now, as parents, I like to talk as a parent because I'm a mother myself, yeah? We need to find out, why is this child behaving like that? Why is this child not happy?
Definitely.
Why is this child
Why he's not studying good?
Yes.
What's the reason behind that?
What is the issue?
What's stopping him?
Yes, but instead of beating or abuse or those things, we need really to find the core, because there is always a reason why certain things happen the way they are.
Fauza, tell me please, you go now to Africa and you inspire girls. You go to schools and for them you give them big hope that you can be a writer like you, speaker, you now speak at different events. And from the village in Kenya you can become a beautiful, strong person. Why are you helping now girls in Africa? Why are you doing it?
You know, Olga, it's because I know what it is to be in pain. And I take it so personal that sometimes it really breaks my heart, because there's so much that we need to do as adults, as parents, as teachers, as country, as organization, that we don't do most of the time.
Like what don't we do?
We don't empower our people. We don't love unconditionally sometimes because we expect something in return. Yeah? And sometimes some parents, they provide, okay, but they're not there for the kids. And so every time I go to do these talks, you know, every time I finish, they come to me and they say, you know, Fauza, I've been abused. There are stories of rape. There are stories of sexual harassment. There are so many stories, Olga. I cannot solve it all. The only thing I would tell them sometimes is to tell someone when these things happen. Because you cannot, what is it called? You cannot, your actions are solely, you are solely responsible for your actions.
Definitely.
Yeah, but what really hurts me, it's when we take advantage of innocent people.
So for these people in Africa, you become like a hero, like a role model. For these girls, they look at you like a role model that you can overcome the problems. Yeah,
and you know what? I realized that it's the fact that Fauza has just remembered them.
So, you know, I think it's very important to remember the people who are less fortunate than us, even if they're in Africa or in Kenya or maybe in the next house next to us. I think that sometimes really we forget about that people. We feel we are stronger, we are more happy, but God knows what can happen tomorrow.
No, and you know, for me, what I've realized sometimes, everybody is busy building their own empire. Yeah, but these people, I've met really intelligent kids. And sometimes the problem is they don't have enough resources. And the reason why I do most of the talks in the rural areas and in the slums, yeah, it's because most of those kids, you can just imagine growing up in this kind of environment, Olga. It's very depressive. The things that they happen there, it's unbelievable, you know. And
these talks, they help them.
So when I go to talk to them, they get encouraged, and they get, you know, it evokes hope for them, because I tell them it's not about the beginning. It's what are you going to do? You've been given a chance, you are in school. Use this season to build something for yourself. I'm grateful that I had an opportunity to go to school. I fought to go to school, yeah? Even though I was struggling, but I did it. And so I try to remind them that make use of everything.
Bravo, Fauza. You're doing you're doing really very, 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 very important job. What you can tell our audience, what you can tell people who think that they are not fortunate, that their life is not good, and that they are not heroes, that some people are millionaires, owners of the big shopping malls, of Mercedes, of BMW, and what you can recommend these people, how to start?
You know, I think it's always important you start with your why. You know, people ask me, you look like you have this life now, but you've gone back. You are doing something for the community. And it's because I know where my journey started. And I believe that if we all do something small, it always adds up to something. And the problem that we have in the society, Olga, is everybody wants to be a celebrity.
That's true. This is like celebrity society. There are a lot of studios, a lot of cameras, and everybody thinks.
Social media is the other problem.
This is a beautiful studio here.
Yes.
Everybody wants to come,
everybody wants
to dance and to jump.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be, and nobody wants to clean the floor, to stay behind the camera. Nobody wants to clean the garbage.
Yeah.
So everybody wants to be the celebrity.
Yes, but I believe in service because Oprah Winfrey said, not everybody can be a celebrity or fame or all those things because these things, they have season. They come and they pass. Titles come and change. Trophies come and expire. But what I believe for myself is service.
Service.
When we serve people, it brings a lot of significance to ourselves.
It's very beautiful. It's very beautiful.
And from
saying.
that, success starts to you build up something.
Build. I think it's a very beautiful saying today, and I want to thank very much Fauza for coming and for raising these topics about serving people, giving love to people who are less fortunate, and find the power in yourself. Whatever your past was, trying to put out of big minus, big, huge plus. Because I think this is the hero of the 21st century, Fauza Beltz. Thank you so much, Fauza. I want to hug you.